This week we're talking about how to make videos showcasing just talking through play. So this is a football one. I haven't dressed up and done a fake thing this week. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about how to make videos for YouTube where you sort of show, like, annotate a sports video and sort of like establish yourself as an expert and help your team and help other coaches. So that's, and it's going to be a bit of a walk through that thing. If you got the email, you'll have seen the blog post. We're going to sort of go through it in depth today. Hello, this is Squares TV App Lab number 90, where we talk about video pencil, shoot and CueCam presenter. This is a lab on after hours and going out live on YouTube. And I have been testing something, so I'm just going to make sure you're not hearing the echo of the music on my microphone. I'm Michael Forrest. I make apps and other random stuff. So we're going to start with some updates. So what's happening? So CueCam got a new build yesterday. It's been a while, and the main thing was have I written some notes for this? The main thing was I wanted to get a new build out, fix a few of those crashes, fix a few of those bits and bobs that have been kind of like hanging around for a while because I've been working on another branch, and also bring in some support for the forthcoming action replay and sort of like shuttle control that is coming into Video Pencil any minute now. But I did have a bit of a tough week because of these issues with Sequoia. So basically, I ran through my suite of tests, and one of them is the scrolling of a big presentation in CueCam should be super smooth, and it just wasn't. It was horrible, and so I started digging into it. But I started digging into it again on the main branch, but the reason I'd started the whole new version, like that sort of a lot of more updates to the CueCam interface that sort of too many to release now, was sort of stemmed from that scrolling problem and sort of rethinking how I did the card list and realizing that a lot of stuff actually shouldn't be in the card list anyway. And that sort of solved the problem because I was using a different thing. But when I came back to the way I'm currently doing it, we're back to these scrolling problems, and that's why I was on this detour. So what that means is, I dug into it a bit deeper. I did a lot of instrumentation, I did a lot of stuff, I did a lot of troubleshooting. I realized that, like, when you scroll with the mouse wheel, it's horrible, but if you scroll with the scroll bar, it's perfect. So it's just weird. So if you do have trouble with the scrolling, just sort of like scroll a little bit and then grab the scroll bar and you can scroll really quickly, or just use the sidebar thumbnails, because basically there's something weird is going on in Sequoia, an Apple bug. I found a thread on the developer forums where other people are seeing exactly the same thing. We haven't touched anything, and suddenly when you use the mouse wheel on a Mac, it's just a disaster. I did some instrumentation. It's doing like, it's sort of trying to test where the mouse pointer is. Like each view in your view hierarchy, so there might be like 80 views nested in that it's got to check which one it's touching. For each tick of the scroll wheel, it's doing like 100,000 tests. So and for no reason, and it makes no sense, and it's all inside Apple's framework. But something is glitched out in Apple's frameworks that's like it's doing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these of these tests as you scroll, which makes it super laggy. But so just watch out for scrolling on long documents. Either Apple will ship a bug, or once I come in with the new changes to the UI of CueCam, that's going to be sort of long forgotten. Meanwhile, Video Pencil, some fixes are coming. I have fixed the thing with the tools, but I've just been finalizing a couple of new features. So the first one being the shuttle wheel and making sure that works with CueCam, but also I've just been tinkering with the action replay thing. So if I just do something, I can pause it, and then we can sort of come back and rewind it. Of course, that's interesting. It's when I try and do a demo. This is why it's not out yet, because when I try and do a live demo, there you go. We managed to get a thing. So what I've been doing today is I've thought, say you're out on the field, you've sort of got your iPad pointed at things, you can maybe if you're doing a live broadcast, now you'll be able to pause, rewind, and then if it was if it was a goal or something, you can just save that to your clips library, and so then later in the show you can sort of like quickly sort of pull up those clips and annotate them and stuff. So I thought, so say I did a really amazing pencil flip like that, imagine that, and then we could pause that, we could do it if it was working. Yeah, and then there's bugs, which is why it's not out yet. What's going on there? Yeah, so that works. And then I can clip it, and picture in picture works down here, and that's on the iPad. There's lots of bits to do. But yeah, when that's ready, it's going to be amazing. So the new shuttle wheel is going to come in. It's going to do videos in the app. It's going to do CueCam videos. So if you're playing a video back in CueCam, it's going to control that. It's going to do live video, and it's going to do, you're going to be able to save those clips out, as I just described. Hi, Tim. I'm glad Tim is excited for upcoming stuff in Video Pencil. I'm glad to hear it. I'm excited too. I just want to get it right before I ship it. As always, but it just means that we're sort of delaying a couple of important bug fixes that are kind of like harming Video Pencil for normal stuff in the meantime. So next couple of days I'm hoping to ship that. So yeah. So let's get to the main event. What are we talking about this week? So I had a really good chat with you'll see, I'll show you a clip of one of his videos on YouTube, Quincy, who does like little breakdowns for YouTube. So it'd be like, here's this sports thing. So I'm going to jump into the tutorial, and I wrote this tutorial. I'm just going to go through it, and we're going to like see what comes out of it, basically. So as a coach, you can help your team learn and build your profile as an expert by recording breakdowns for YouTube. So that
What is
might
going
look
on? I'm
something like this. Hold on a sec. Let's try that again. This is the problem with like testing stuff.
Quarterback takeover. And today,
sorry, I just want to make sure that my default screen. Oh man. Let's just go.
What is going on? I'm Quincy Avery, quarterback takeover.
I need to just make sure my default screen, pick screen, is the right one. I've been testing things, is the problem. Right, let's try that one more time. So this is the video. Hey Tony, can you hear this? I don't think you're getting any audio from this. I don't think you're getting any audio. Let's try this one more time.
What is going on? I'm Quincy Avery, quarterback takeover. And today, we're looking at what makes quarterbacks consistently successful. That's fundamentals. We're going to be looking at Geno Smith, the most accurate quarterback in the NFL, and what are the fundamentals he uses to get there. But before we get started, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the QB takeover news. Geno Smith is a quarterback who does a lot of things really, really well. And this is a great example of them. It starts with his drop. His drop puts him in a position where his right ankle is in a straight line to the target. His front shoulder is in a straight line to the target, and his left hip. All these things are working directly to the target in a straight line. Now, the next component is the lack of head movement, right? His head stays very quiet throughout his throw process, which allows his eyes to stay level, right, as he's throwing. Now we want to talk about ground force. He's able to put every single cleat in his right foot in the ground. So he's loading up through his right leg with that short front stride. So this front foot strike is congruent with equal opposite, and equal opposite is the position where the tip of the ball on the backside is facing through your target. Geno Smith is a quarterback due to his internal rotation in his hip, where he lands his front foot at a 45-degree angle. Now, that is not going to be consistent for every quarterback that you have, but you need to be consistent in whatever you do, pending your internal rotation from your hips. Now let's talk about his top half. He's loaded up. He's able to rotate the front side, right? Looking at that left shoulder, able to close that up and generate force to the ground. Now, the last piece of this, and this is critical for quarterbacks everywhere, is when you hit, like, that's where he's finished, right? So he's rotated, he stopped, and now it's going to look like he hit a wall. There's nothing in front of him, but you'll see Geno throw, rotate, and almost backpedal out of there. All these things working together allow Geno Smith to be one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL because there was nowhere to throw this football.
So yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. And sorry for the, like, I don't like to make make it look like there's issues doing things the way I do, because it's just, the problem is when you're building the app, I had the wrong screen shared as my default screen because part of my testing is test what happens if I change the default screen. So this sort of thing wouldn't happen to you as much, I don't think. Anyway, so there are two parts to that video. So we've got, the first part is sort of talking to camera, like just introducing yourself, saying what you're going to talk about today. And then the second part is you've got a bit of video playback and you're doing your sort of like annotation on that and you're drawing on that. So and then along with that, so you're going to want to be able to draw on that, and you're also going to want to be able to sort of control, like run through that video forwards and backwards and do all that stuff. So this is what I'm going to sort of show you, the steps, everything, just from start, from zero. I'm going to show you what you would need to do that sort of thing. So what are you going to need to make a video like this? With CueCam, you're going to need a Mac, you're going to need an iPhone or an iPad to use as a camera. You're going to need a camera mount, something to sort of put your iPhone on. You're going to need an iPad to use for drawing, a USB connected microphone or something like just that, something that's going to give you some good audio, and then lights. So you have just a nice bright diffuse light. So that's the sort of basics of what you're going to need. I think, yeah, like the Mac, like we're doing all this Mac, so this is like you've got your Mac, your iPad and your iPhone. If you've got those three things, you're pretty much good to go, apart from maybe you should want to get a microphone. If you want to look like more professional, you need to sound good, so the microphone is important. And if you are sort of doing stuff on the iPhone camera, then a good bit of lighting is going to make that look a bit better. For the apps, you're going to need Video Pencil, which lets you draw using your iPad and shuttle through videos, and Shoot Pro Webcam, which turns your phone or iPad into a webcam with a built-in teleprompter and a program preview. So, and then on the Mac, you're going to get CueCam Presenter, which lets you script and record videos, but you don't necessarily need to do the script part. But the point is, it works seamlessly with Video Pencil and Shoot and lets you record stuff. So, just a note on sort of purchasing stuff, like, so CueCam is a subscription thing that fully so it gives you this Mac app. It also gives you Video Pencil and Shoot with no extra purchases. So it's sort of like a one price covers everything. All the stuff I just mentioned is all the software is all covered under one license. But if you're not sure you're going to need to script your videos, for example, then you can actually use CueCam for free and like just buy like the bits of Shoot, like get the watermarks off Shoot and Video Pencil, and you'll be good to go there, which might be more effective for you. But if you do change your mind in future, then Shoot and Video Pencil purchases are discounted. But I've tried to make it super easy to just go, okay, well, I'm going to get CueCam Presenter. That's going to give me all the other stuff. I just download it. I can just use them all together. So there are some optional extras to this if you are feeling like going the extra mile. Like an Apple Pencil is going to let you draw a lot more accurately. Apple Silicon Mac is going to just... the performance is just really good for this video stuff, and there's no fan noise that will sort of ruin your audio if you're not careful. A teleprompter makes it easier to create a concise intro where you can read your script while maintaining eye contact with your audience. So if you did want to kind of like come across even more professional, you could do that with a teleprompter, but we can get a certain way with just Shoot. A Stream Deck, so I'm using an Elgato Stream Deck right now, which lets me kind of go next previous with the through my deck. Green screen is nice, so that's what I'm using here. Like, this is not, guess what? This is not real. This stuff behind me. And then, yeah, some more lights can make it look good as well if you wanted to put a bit of color in. But these are all like optional things if you really wanted to sort of like raise the quality of what you're doing. So step one, recording your intro. So you don't necessarily need to appear on camera. if you don't want to. But I think it's important if you want people to see who you are before they hear your voice. But of course, like, you can skip this whole bit, and then you don't need the camera, the lighting. You don't need to shoot, you don't need the lighting. You could just do it with the iPad and a video clip and record that, and it'd be almost as good. But if you want to do what Quincy's done there and appear on camera, sort of show who you are, like gain a bit of trust before you start talking, before it's just a voiceover, then yeah, like this is worth doing. So first thing you're going to do is set up your camera. So basically you're going to run shoot on the iPhone or iPad you're going to be using as your main camera, and then you're going to just mount this camera, so this device, so you can see its screen. So you're going to be sort of here, standing here, and then your phone is going to be like, the camera is going to be like that, and you're going to be able to see yourself on the screen. And if you've done any teleprompter notes, they're going to appear there. So you're just going to need, if you've got, say, a desk like that, then you're going to just get like a mount or something, or you could get like a floor stand if you want to stand up, and like, so you just need something that's going to allow you to mount that device like that. So try and get it level and square, and Shoot actually has a built-in level. So like, if you go into the grids in Shoot, if you've got the Pro Essentials, or or you've got CueCam, it will actually give you a sort of spirit level which lets you perfectly line it up, and that's really useful to have. It gives you some sort of rule of thirds guides as well, so you can sort of see what your background looks like. So just try and get that image nice and square and like nice and neat. Then you're going to set up your mic. So the closer you are to your microphone, especially if it's a condenser, like one of these Rode things, I'm using this Rode NT USB thing, then you're not going to have echo, you're going to have less echoey audio problems, and you're just going to appear more professional. But if you've got a shotgun mic, it can be a bit further away. But I'm using a USB microphone, and if you just get my microphone is just here, just out of frame, just under here, so that I can be close to it, but you can't see it. Some people like to, you can actually see the top of it, can't you? There's the top of my mic and a little bit of microphone. But yeah, you can decide that stylistically you do want the mic to be in frame. That's okay too. A lot of people like hold the microphone to their mouth these days, but you can either use a shotgun mic and be further away, or you can just try and stay close to the mic. And now you want to set up your lighting. So you'll generally want at least one bright key light, and that's what I've got here. I've just got one big diffuser. It's sort of like this big, so it's sort of like, yeah, about what is it, like, it's sort of a light that's spread out this wide with like an umbrella behind it, so you get like an even fill on you, which is good for a green screen as well. It means that you can do that. And if you want to learn more about lighting, you can check this ARRI lighting handbook, which is really cool, although I wish I could look at it in a browser, but it gives you loads of it's a guide that sort of tells you where to put lights and what different styles of lighting you can do. So that's just a free download, and if you look at the blog post that comes with this video, that's linked from this live stream, and was in the email, then there's a link to that, so you can learn all about lighting if you want to sort of know what's going on there. And just remember, different skin tones require different lighting techniques. So like a lot of kind of lighting expertise is kind of made for white people, and that doesn't always make sense for if you're darker skinned. Like you sort of like need to work with reflection more, and sort of otherwise you just end up blowing everything out, and sort of it doesn't, it's sort of like it looks weird. So I found this really good I found this really good. I can't remember if I saw it on TikTok or I saw it on somewhere else, but just talking about how shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air were filmed in the 90s, where they just blew everything out because all they need to do was just keep throwing more and more lighting, but it sort of gives it that kind of strange look. But if you are darker skinned, then you're gonna want to sort of do a bit more research and find out sort of the tricks to sort of lighting your skin tones. So preparing to record the breakdown, you're gonna want your video footage. So you want to prepare some video clips for the plays that you want to discuss, and maybe that's one per video, and that's what we saw there. So just get a clip, not too, like, sort of clip it down. So, and they're going to be more effective if you download the footage that you want to use rather than using like a web video player. That's going to be a bit more awkward to do. If you can just get the file, otherwise, like maybe your like ads coming in YouTube, or like you can't be quite as precise with your scrubbing. Whereas if you download the file, you can sort of really precisely control it. So you can use an app like Downy if you want to get a video off YouTube. This was mentioned on the video where Alex on the podcast episode where Alex Lindsay recommended Shoot to everyone. I ended up getting it because I was looking for something with a decent UX for downloading stuff off YouTube, because you always go to these websites. But you can get this and it'll sort of download videos off whatever website. It's worth a look. And then you can trim videos with QuickTime Player on your Mac or using the Photos app on your iPad. So it's just if you just load up a video into QuickTime, you can just trim that. So shall I see if I've got any videos? I'm not sure I've got any videos to hand. I probably should have. I've got a load of corrupt videos to hand from testing some stuff earlier. But yeah, you just trim it. So basically, you press the trim button. You get the sort of timeline comes down the bottom. You get the sort of trim controls that you can drag, and you can just then sort of like save that, and then you get like a nice short video that you can export, and you sort of you're not sort of trying to find the right place in the video. And now that you've sort of set up that stuff, you're going to launch Video Pencil on the iPad that you want to draw with. And that's going to automatically, if you've got CueCam running on your Mac, that's going to automatically connect. But you've got two different ways you can play back videos when you're doing this stuff. You can either do it on your iPad, which gives you, it feels a bit more hands-on, but so you can load videos into your library on your iPad. Or you can, if you want to maybe do a few more plays and it sort of turns into a bit of a script in CueCam, it's probably easier to do it on your Mac. And you can actually now still draw. Well, you can still draw and shuttle through them in the same way. And this sort of saves copying them over to your iPad if you're sort of dealing with them on your Mac. So setting up CueCam. What you've got to basically set up your main camera is the first thing. I sort of wish I had a screenshot of this. Can I find my the live camera window? That's so when you first launch CueCam, you're going to see your camera, and then there's this main camera option here. So this is my camera is selected as USB camera, and then I have got some settings down here for the camera, but yeah, make sure you've got your main. You can also do it with a right click as well. So you just select your main camera. That's the first thing you're going to do. And then in CueCam's dashboard, yeah, that's how you do that. And so basically you want to select your main camera as Shoot. So if Shoot is running, you will see it in that drop down. Let me prove that by running Shoot. On the phone that I have awkwardly in front of my screen, you will see Shoot appears, and just like it's usually easier just to select shoot on Michael's phone or Shoot on your phone name, rather than like sort of you can select which one. Front camera is probably the one you want if you're going to do any teleprompter stuff. You want to see yourself while you're recording. But yeah, when Shoot's running nearby, it's going to appear in there, and then you're going to connect Video Pencil, and it's just automatically going to connect to CueCam and just you're going to be able to start drawing straight away. And you're going to see, so if you've got Shoot as your main camera, you're now going to see that Shoot camera on your iPad as well. So you're able to sort of draw on whatever CueCam is showing is going to come up on Video Pencil on the iPad. So the next thing, so creating a script, which you can do in CueCam, is optional. But you are going to get a better recording if you do a bit of planning first, and that's what this whole scripting thing is for. So with CueCam Presenter, you can start you can just do this with two cards really. So one for the intro, and then one for the breakdown. So your intro card would have your speaker notes. So you're going to just read these into your camera, or you can just put in some key points to remember to talk about. Don't forget to say this. Don't forget to say this. So you'll just put into a card some notes, and then when you sort of hit record, you won't be trying to remember what you were going to say, and you'll see that on the iPhone screen as your teleprompter. So I guess I do have some step-by-step instructions, so let's go into demo mode again. And so this is what's involved. So we're going to create a new script, which is going to give you this. I can hardly see see everything behind the stuff. So this is what a blank script looks like. So you're going to say, "Hi, I'm Michael Forrest, and I am a sports expert." Right. Today we're talking about a very famous sportsman. Right, doing super chill stuff. Right, so you're going to just decide what you're going to say for that intro. You're going to put that on the first card. And it's worth saying it, like as you're typing a script, it's worth saying it out loud as you go, right? Hi, I'm Michael Forrest, because it's easy to type something, and then you sort of think you're done, and then you go to read it out, and it's just like, you can't say that. Like, it's Harrison Ford. You can write this stuff. You can't say it. So just make sure you're sort of speaking out loud if you are ever doing any scripting, because just to make sure it's going to sound clear and natural. And it's always good with this stuff to come back to it and have another pass. And don't forget, you can tweak the script as you go through your recordings, but once you have a good intro, like, you can just save as the file for the next video, and then you've got that for future videos. So like, okay, I'm going to do another breakdown, save as, I've got my intro, maybe I'll tweak it for this one, and that's kind of what I do with these live streams every week as well. And then if you wanted to add a lower third like this is oh, you can't see the lower third, but you, like this, you want to have a lower third, you can well, so one way to do it, so what you can do is you can go add layout and go add, I think it's called title and icon, but it really should be called lower third. So you can add a lower third. That's going to give you a title, some text, right? Some text there and an icon. So you can then come into here and sort of change that for something else. And you're also able to, okay, so say we've got, so this is like, I'm Michael Forrest. So actually the way I'd do this is I'd actually move, I'm Michael Forrest, and I would sort of like put that all on that card and sort of delete this first card. But what you can also do is like add a bit more text to it as well. So you can go add like a subtitle, sports person of the year, right? So then you've got this, you can sort of build up a little lower third for yourself when you first come on, and that can just like make things feel a bit cooler as well. Yeah, and of course, like, you don't need to use the little plus button to do this stuff. You can just type, you can just go, this is more, sorry, I'm looking at the iPad screen as I type. So yeah, you can sort of build up your lower third like that, and you can even do like, if you did 3, then you could have some even smaller text. So there is a blog post, there is a post, so CueCam help has loads of help on this stuff. So if you're like ever in doubt, so there is a tutorial on how to make a lower third on the website, sort of goes through all this stuff for you. And just remember on the CueCam thing, if you go into help and you just go into this search box and go like lower third, it's gonna filter like any documents, any articles, and you can find those really easily on the website. Did you see any of that? No, you didn't see any of that. Sorry. Let's try that again, because we were in demo mode. Let me just, yeah. So this is the website. So there's instructions on the website of how to make a lower third. Demo mode is going to be the death of me, I tell you. And then, yeah, what I just showed was if you are in help on CueCam and you search in here, you can go lower third. And like you'll see, okay, there's an article. You see, this is a bit awkward, but like, yeah, how to make a lower third, and you're going to be able to find those instructions. So anything you can think of, like you can just type, and something that you can do as well, like if you go into a CueCam document, you can just like step through these and like sort of learn quite a lot about how CueCam works. So it's worth sort of diving into the help. I have done an awful lot of work on that. So once you've done your intro, you're going to do a card for your breakdown. So this is just basically to save you having to hunt down the video and then like edit it together. You're just going to like automatically load in the video once you've said your intro. You're going to have, and then you can be able to just start drawing. And you can, then what's cool is you can also be picture in picture. So there's continuity there. And actually, like I've watched Avery's, I've watched Quincy's video a few times. And I do notice that like the sound jumps between the intro and the levels, and this way you're like going to avoid that because it's just going to be one take. And so it's like, I really love there's so many reasons to do this as a live take, but like one of them, audio, just consistent audio, consistent tone, consistent energy is just really, really like a large part of this. It's just because it can be so hard to edit something together from you recorded the audio for the breakdown the next day and the background audio, or your voice was sounded a bit different, or the room was a bit different. It can sort of like make the video feel a bit cheaper. Whereas if you can just do everything in one go, you're going to get that consistency for free. You're going to get that tone. And then you've also got like this picture in picture. So when the video is paused, people can still see you talking, right? Which is, I think, gonna add something to the video as well. So we can add in another card, and we've got two options of how to load in the video. So one way is to load it into Video Pencil on your iPad directly. So to do that, you can just go into, let me do an iPad share. So if I share, share Apple devices, my iPad. So if I show you my iPad screen, this is what Video Pencil looks like. So up here is the media menu. So you can just go like, so the first time you can go pick from photos, but then once you've picked it from photos, it's now going to be in your recent files. So here I can just like load that in. And now I've got my play, and that's ready. And I can sort of go, okay, this is happening over here, and then I can sort of turn the thing, and then I can draw this, and then I can like turn my little wheel, and we can sort of like navigate through the video, and everything's great. Or you can use the scrub bar, or you can use the thing here to kind of like go gently through, press play, and you can be picture in picture on the iPad as well. So and I've been experimenting with some stuff at the moment. So there's sort of double picture in picture going on, but you won't have that. But once you've got that loaded onto your iPad, you can actually make your CueCam script load that automatically. So the new version that's going to come out of CueCam, which is sort of talked about on the website, makes this one less step, but I'm going to show you how to do it on the sort of the way it currently has to be done. So again, let's share my iPad. So when you are playing back a video, so we go media, we load the video. What we can do here is tap, there's a little button there, which well, you can either hit the little button there, or you can actually like open your media library, press and hold on there, and it's going to show this. And there's a button down, it's really hard to see, and I'm not sure how to show it to you. I'm going to draw an arrow to it, so it's going to be along here. So media, long press on the tile, and down here there's a copy link to load button. So I'm going to hit that, and that's going to actually copy the link to load the video to my clipboard. So if I now sort of stop sharing my iPad and come back to my new CueCam dock, we'll make our breakdown card. All right, so this is our breakdown card, and then on here we're going to go add, where is it? Open deep link. And then in here, we're going to paste in that deep link. So you see there, that I copied, because I'm all synced with iCloud, I copied it on the iPad, and then I just pasted it in on my Mac, so that is now on that card. And so what this saves you doing is like loading it from your media library. You can just press next, and now that's going to be automatically loaded. So if we were to I don't want to necessarily exit the thing, but once this card is presented, that is going to just automatically load that video onto your iPad. So yeah, and that's called a trigger basically. So alternatively, you can load a video on your Mac directly. So this video will be saved with your CueCam document, so you don't lose it. So all that would be is so instead of sort of doing the whole iPad rigmarole, you would just you could just drag a video directly onto the card. So what we can do is like, let's go like add card. Well, we're going to add a card. We're going to add a movie, And then on that movie, we can just like replace this and go, replace, and find our video file. Find one of Edinburgh, just load that in. It's going to bring it onto the card, and it's going to like save that onto your deck, so you can sort of see that. You can actually trim it inside CueCam if you want, and then that's just like on the card. And when you save the document, like you're not going to lose the you're not going to lose the clip. So that's a really useful way of doing it as well. And it also works with Video Pencil. You can still draw on it. You can still scrub through. You can, on that card, you can add some notes for Video Pencil. So if you add some, what I'm going to show you is that I'll show you the iPad screen, and I'll show you the notes that I'm currently seeing on my teleprompter. So if I share my iPad, you're going to see that this little thing, so you see this has my notes that I added to the card. So that means that when I present that thing, I can also remind myself, okay, 1, I'm going to talk about X, 2, I'm going to talk about Y, 3. So, even put the time codes or something, okay, and then just say like, okay, scrub forward to this point, scrub forward to this point. So that's really handy, actually. Like, I found myself finding this really useful, because you're looking at the teleprompter talking to camera, but this way you can actually have your notes while you're doing your breakdown as well, and that's going to make you be able to do it a lot more snappily as well. And you can appear picture in picture while you're doing a breakdown, and you can do that if it's on your iPad. We're going to share the iPad again. I should have made it automatically share these things, but I did this last minute. So there's if you have loaded a video, there is a secret special button up here, like right at the top, where you can like toggle picture-in-picture mode. So you can be no picture-in-picture, or you can have a rectangle, or you can have a circle. And now well, it's going to be easier to see if it's going to be easier to see if we move this out of the way. So your picture-in-picture is going to be down there, and so that can be done on the iPad. So especially if you were just recording this on the iPad, like you could do it like that. But if you don't want to just do it on the iPad, if you're playing it from the Mac, then there's a picture-in-picture toggle on the card preview. So have a look at demo mode. There's a little toggle thing down here where we can just say, do we want to be picture-in-picture, and just like toggle that on and off. But I think it's cool if you've gone to the effort of setting up your camera, why not be picture-in-picture? And then if you've got, if you did do the green screen thing, then you get the sort of like you get the sort of super fancy, this kind of picture-in-picture, which I think is a bit nicer than a circle. If I didn't have the green screen, it would look like this. So I would be in a circle in the corner and a bit smaller, but with the green screen I get to be a bit bigger and a bit more sort of immersed in the content. And then now that you've prepared everything, recording a video is really easy. So like this is sort of like a different path. So one path is, in your life as a content producer, is I'm going to record clip 1, clip 2, clip 3, bit 4. I'm going to record some audio. I'm going to record this stuff, and then I'm going to go into Final Cut, and I'm going to edit that all together. Right, and that's going to take me a day, or like half a day to edit that, probably a day. Because maybe I sort of didn't plan. I planned a little bit, but this way we go, right, we're going to plan and script out what we're going to say. Okay, we're going to say this, we're going to gather our media in advance, and then when we press record, we get a final video file, right, that we can just upload straight to YouTube. We don't have to go through this rigmarole, or like trying to make these different video clips match, which can be really challenging. It's just all going to work a lot better. Well, it's just a lot easier, I think. So to start your presentation, you are going to go to the first card in your deck and press the start button in CueCam's in CueCam. So here's your document. And then there's a big start button here. That's going to change to a slightly more standard looking thing soon. But yeah, this is start. So you click on that to start. I guess I will just do it. And so that is going to bring up your title card, it's going to put your notes in your teleprompter, so all this stuff here is going to come up on your camera on shoot. And then when you go to the next card, it's going to automatically load in the video that you want. So you see this one loaded it on the iPad, so straight away we're seeing that iPad footage, although I'm not sure we are because of how demo mode works, and we can sort of start drawing on it. But if I just go to the next one, so here's Edinburgh. Like, this isn't obviously sports footage, but like on my iPad I can pause that, I can say, hey, look at this wonderful stuff. I can sort of rewind it a bit from the iPad, come back around and go, hey, this bit was good. You can pause it, you can pan around, you can draw your thing. I should probably have had a sports video ready, but yeah. And then so all you're going to do is, so what do? You press play to start the presentation, and then you just hit this record button up here, a nice record button. So you record, it's going to say get ready, and you're going to say, hi, I'm Michael Forrest, I'm Sports Person of the Year, this is more tech, and I'm a sports expert. Today we're going super smoothly, and then once that recording is finished, we are going to have a file. It's as simple as that. So we're going to record, we're going to see that recording come in, and then when it's finished, you just hit stop, and you go show file, and you've got like all of your millions of oh, it's not going to show them because it's Finder. You're going to have all your recordings, and you can just like you've got the recording straight away. So what is next? And of course, like, yes, the instructions on that web page are slightly yeah. So yeah, when you're reading it, just to sort of cover that again, so when you're reading your intro, like, shoot screen will show your introduction notes placed near the camera lens so you can keep eye contact. You can use the right arrow key, or like this, or you can press the pink button again to go to the next slide, or there's on the iPad, there's a control to do it. This is going to load the video in on your iPad or in CueCam, and then you can use video pencils drawing tools to draw on the video. You can customize video pencils tools if you want different sets of line colors and weights. So let's sort of coming back to more of what you can do with video pencil. Once again, I'm gonna share my iPad and show you. So these are customizable. So you can say, okay, I like, because I always go for this sort of Squares TV brand pink, but like I could change each of these pens. So say I want this one to be thicker, we can sort of change that, and then it makes it really easy to kind of like switch between your different colors and sort of different styles. You can, this is, oh, we're in demo mode still. You can, I kind of want to keep sharing my iPad. I should probably make a button. You can control the video using this shuttle control. So if I load in a video, I can just play that back. I can press this button to pause it. I can quickly go forwards. I can quickly go back. So I'm spinning my finger on this wheel here, and that's letting me very accurately do it. When I draw a line and spin it a bit more, it clears the drawing, so it makes it really easy to go, okay, here's this guy, he's making a run this way, let's keep going. Oh no, he's got, and you can, it's very easy to kind of go frame by frame, and sort of it feels quite cool and quite natural. So that works regardless of whether the video is playing on the Mac or the iPad. You can select different playback speeds. I need a faster way to quickly switch to back to the iPad. So that if you've got a video loaded, you can, there's a playback speed control there, so you can say like, just I'm going to play that half speed, and just like, so then when you resume playback, it's going to play at half speed, and you can pause it, you can change that speed. So that's possible, and that exists in CueCam and on the Mac. You can, when you're breaking down this stuff, something that I think you might find yourself using quite a lot is, you got your video loaded, you can actually do a pinch gesture. So you can sort of zoom in, go, okay, we're going to watch this guy. Who do we watch here? Yeah, okay, maybe we're watching this guy. So you can sort of scrub back we can zoom right in on the person that we're interested in. Say, okay, look, see how he's standing, look at his legs, look at that angle, and then sort of scrub forwards, and you can actually like pan up. Something that will happen is it's a bit laggy, but like, so with 2 fingers you can pan around. So I'm going to pan up, and my drawing's going to stay where I left it. So if I draw around his head, it's going to sort of, with a slight delay, it's going to stay drawn around its head, and we can sort of see what's going on. When we press play, that's going to resume. So this is really handy for doing breakdowns, because you can immediately see, like, you can sort of zoom right in on the action that you want. And this is going to clear my iPad again. Yeah, so you can do the zooming thing. And again, that zooming works whether or not the video is playing on your Mac or on your iPad. And then, yeah, as I showed you before, you can see your notes just on that little control thing. If Video Pencil is connected to CueCam, you can see those speaker notes from that card in that floating toolbar. I am going to keep showing. I am going to keep sharing this thing. This is going to be so much quicker to do as well on the new version. But down, you see this thing is, wait, I'm just waiting for that to appear. So this thing up here is the sort of CueCam remote control module. You can sort of drag that to a different corner. That makes more sense. You can hit this little button to kind of maximize it, and then you're going to be able to see all your notes. And if you just sort of like drag that back into the corner again, you can drag it to the sort of top middle, or you can drag it to the bottom. So like you can sort of move it out of the way of your content. And then you can see like you can actually go to the next card in your CueCam deck using that that button. So if you had an outro and you wanted to go back to the main camera, hit that and you sort of do your outro as well. So that's sort of like another, you don't need a stream deck, you don't need that. You can just be on your iPad doing your breakdown, next, back to your outro. And then, yeah, you can, as I said, like to finish that recording, there's a finish icon in CueCam's toolbar to finish the recording. There are ways to like make it automatically start recording, automatically finish recording, but you know, that's you'll be fine. You can just trim the starts and ends to start with. A show file appears, like as I showed you before, and then basically you're not going to get, if you don't get a perfect recording first time, that's normal, and you're just going to kind of like realize you could have said something a bit clearer. Maybe you'll sort of flub a word, but it's just so much easier to do another. It's like a 2-minute video, a 3-minute video. It's just, you might as well just re-record it, and then you've just got a take in one file, rather than get an okay take and then try and fix it in the edit. It's just like, and then that never leads to the same standard of work. So yeah, just keep trying until you get it perfect. As I said, yeah, like so automatic recording, you can add a start recording trigger via the more menu in the script toolbar to, well, yeah, it's not in the script toolbar yet, but there's a app triggers for CueCam. You can add a start recording trigger. I'll show you it. So here I can say on my first card, I'm going to go add, I'm going to go start recording, and so then when it comes to that card, it's just going to automatically start recording, and then I can add like a dummy card at the end and just go down here and go like finish recording. So then you just press start, it starts the script. And then when you get to the end, it's going to automatically finish. And that might be a way, if you might not even then have to trim if you can get that going. And then editing and uploading. So you might actually be able to upload your video to YouTube as is, but or you might need to trim it using QuickTime. So I sort of showed you, like in QuickTime Player, you load the file, it's a player, you hit trim, there's a trim menu item, or I just do Command T, and then that gives you the timeline with that sort of yellow trimmer, and then you can just trim it, save as, and then you've got a trimmed file, and that could be enough. Hopefully, I'm hoping that's going to be enough. That's kind of how I like to do things if I can. But if you do need some more adjustments, if you did like mess something up like 4 minutes in and you just didn't want to start again, you can just like drop it into something like Final Cut or DaVinci or CapCut. But the CueCam philosophy is to get a whole video recorded live, because otherwise editing can just eat up all of your time. So yeah, and it just gives you something a lot clearer and easier to work with. So that's my process that I would recommend for doing these breakdown videos. It sounds like a lot when you say it out loud, but you do it a couple of times and you're just going to get into a groove with it, and all you're going to be thinking about is what you want to say. You're not going to be like worrying about the tech side. You're not going to be worrying about editing. You're not going to be worrying about like this other stuff. All you're going to care about is like what you want to say. And I think that's so important for good content, for making good stuff. And it just lets you sort of focus on your expertise, what you want to say, and not focus on the tools all the time. So you can get started with that. You can download and play with Shoot, Video Pencil, and CueCam Presenter for free. So you don't have to hand out any money to try this out, right? It all just works, but it's watermarked. So it's like you'll record and it'll say like, here's an annoying thing. So you can like check if it's something that you're going to get along with without handing any money over. To download CueCam, you don't even need to give me your email address. Like it's fine. I just want you to give it a go and get addicted to it, because I love this way of working. I want you to discover it, because I just think it's so much more effective for just communicating on the internet. And again, yeah, so CueCam, that was automatically brought in from my process. But yeah, so you can go to let's just put it in cuecam.app. Go there and you can try it, and that's going to sort of link you to all the other stuff. So coming back to the lab, and I see there's been a couple of questions which I shall now answer. If we come back to my main script. So what do we have here? First from Tony Mobley, is everything updated and working well with Apple Updated OS? The answer, if you see the start of this video, is the scrolling for long CueCam documents is pretty not great. I mean, you can still work with it, but like it's to do with basically some Apple bug is causing, when you use the mouse wheel or the trackpad, it's sending like tens of thousands of like 100,000 hit test requests at 60 times a second, and that's just like making it chug. And it's definitely an Apple bug. I'm convinced now that I've dug into it for 2 days. So I've shipped a new version of CueCam. I'm hoping Apple will ship a fix. If not, I am working on the new version of CueCam that doesn't use the stuff that has the bugs in it in the same way. So that will get fixed soon. But it's really only if you've got a giant CueCam dock that you're going to maybe be annoyed by the scrolling, but I don't think you're there yet. So and then I saw Tim says in Video Pencil, how hard would it be to have a toggle switch where when we draw a line and hold the end point, we could either continue to do speech to text or draw a straight line? So Tim, this is I have a prototype of this interaction, and I'm just deciding. It's like I sort of steal a couple of hours on it every 6 months, it feels like. But I do on the iPad, I do have I'll show you the work in progress. It's not gonna be amazingly exciting for you, but I will show you my iPad screen. So if I'm going to go into because I'm the developer, I have a special admin menu. I can should recognize shapes, and I've been working with this. Okay, if I draw a circle, it's not so good with a pencil. I'm going to do draw with finger. So if I draw a circle, is it even working? Yeah, it sort of tries to recognize the shape. So I'm seeing, can I make it recognize rectangles? Can I make it recognize circles? Can I make it draw? I think a straight line would be so easy. I see there. The trouble is you can't really see it properly because it's kind of covered up. Maybe if I do a really thin line, you'll be able to see my debug. So there's a red line that sort of, if it detects a line. Yeah. So you see it's like work in progress. So, and it's doing weird stuff when I do a circle. But a triangle seems pretty good, and a square seems pretty good. Well, that's not a very good square. But yeah, I think the line is the one to get right, and maybe that might actually be a pretty quick win if I just wanted to do that. But yeah, it's like, Tim, could you just say, because what I'm doing at the moment is, you see that I've done my action replay. That's very much because it makes sense to me for sports and also education. And now I've got a use case to tie it to. The straight line thing is, I would love to hear from you, what sort of thing you're drawing that you need that to be need to be able to draw perfectly straight lines. And then I would be, because if I just had an example, I think you might have sent me something, I'm not sure. But like if I've got a really clear use case for, okay, this is something that when I do a tutorial, oh, this is solving a real problem. That would be really useful if you could sort of go into the use case a little bit more for me, so that I can just understand exactly what you're trying to. You don't have to drop a request in Discord, because there's already one in there from like a year and a half ago, so I just sort of scroll right back up to the top of video pencil suggestions. Well, arrow tips as well. So I read this whole post on arrows, on recognizing arrows. Yeah, it's I'd love to see like where you're coming up against this, so that I can be like, okay, let's make sure it works for that use case, rather than, because I've sort of gone down a bit of a rabbit hole of like polygons, triangles, rectangles, circles, and none of that stuff might be of any use to anyone, and it might literally just be straight lines is all you need. So but unfortunately, like the tech behind it is similar, but then it's actually like not that similar. Anyway, and the good thing is when I was first looking at this, ChatGPT didn't exist, so I was like reading these like 20-year-old machine like documents about shape recognition with loads of stuff that I didn't need. The Apple frameworks I was sort of waiting to see if the Apple frameworks would just bundle it in and I could do it without having to add any code myself. That didn't happen. So But thankfully ChatGPT makes it a lot easier to kind of like iterate on this stuff, because it's already dug into those papers and can summarize them for me, and I can say I just want this part of it and put it in Swift and give me some code that, you know. So this is it's going to be a bit easier to make progress on it. I have just realized that I've been going for 55 minutes. So my next note to myself is, have we got time for John today? I don't think we do. So we'll do a quick break the fourth wall, and then we'll do a quick music. Break the fourth wall. I'm going to show you what I've got in front of me today. I've put my phone that's going to go above the deluge clamped to the microphone stand. That's why I keep kind of going like that to look at things. It's a last minute decision, because I wanted to have the phone, so I wanted to have the deluge like over here on the desk. You can't see it on this picture, but so I am really fighting with some stuff. Luckily it does mean that the deluge is going to be a bit more nicely framed than usual. And then the other thing I was going to mention to you is if we do go to demo mode and sort of get rid of that picture. Are we in demo mode? Yes, we are. So what we've got here, I did the whole you see this is a CueCam jumped to document card, which I must be careful not to trigger, and that actually jumped into this making a play for YouTube video, which was automatically generated. Shall I even show you that? So I edit my I don't know if I want to do that. I'm going to come to the CueCam user guide. I author the content like this. Oh no, you can't see that. Let me stop the share and get out of demo mode. So I author the content in here. Then I have a script that converts it into a post on my website, and then I've also got like a secret. No, this is on. If we look at my this one, I've got a special button that lets me download the same thing as a CueCam script, and then that becomes this, and it sort of brings in the pictures and this and that and the other. So I'm like I'm sort of trying to author all my content. Oh, you can't see that. So let me just stop the share, come back to demo mode. Yeah, so then that turns into this script here. And I didn't really make too many updates to the script because I forgot that it was an hour earlier this week. So that's gotta love it. I would not give up CueCam for anything. honestly, believe me, I would not give up this workflow. I refuse. So I'm just going to keep hammering away at these bugs, and I hope that I think some of them are just like me, because I'm doing demo mode stuff and it's extra difficult, but I am not going back to like vanilla CueCam OBS, because I love having my script and like all my content and all my stuff ready and all my video clips and that stuff. So what we're going to do now, you can find the community on squares.tv/discord, report issues, ask for features, that's all there. And we are, and then the other thing I'm going to say, like, next time is going to be I'm doing these 2 weekly. So that's a bit of an announcement this week. I'm shifting this to a 2 weekly schedule, because I'm finding it's I think I can do a better job, and I can start, I'm sort of like not really getting much of the videos, like the guide videos and the other stuff done, because I'm always like just sort of getting this live stream out of the way and then like recovering the next day. It's a lot to do it every week. This is the 90th week in a row that I've done this lab, so I'm just going to change it to every 2 weeks, which I think is going to take some of the pressure off and let me sort of like focus on some other aspects that also need some love. I'm still going to try and email every week, but I think with like new guides and things and new things like that, and I'm going to have news, and there's going to be stuff happening. It's just this live stream, like having to turn up every Wednesday. Sometimes I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, and it's like it's a lot to kind of spend the whole Wednesday every week kind of figuring out these sessions. So it's going to be every 2 weeks. I hope you understand. And let me know if you sort of get thrown and you're like never sure which week it is. I'll try and do like I need to sort of I'll send out a calendar invite that you can add, so that you can sort of set a reminder so that you don't forget every other week. So remind me to do that if I haven't. So yeah, to play us out, I'm going to play you a song that I made ages ago, which the short explanation of it is, and it's I don't think this is happy. Oh, no. We might not get this actually, because it's not connecting to my sound card. We might not get audio, and it's actually already gone 6, so I think I might just skip the YouTube outro today, because I've got some weird stuff happening. I spilled some coffee on my Mac, and it was a little bit, I think it's messed up one of the ports. So we may not be getting the thing. So this overhead camera hack may have been for nothing. Listen, I've got to get going. Thank you everyone so much for turning up. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for kind of coming and asking questions and like not unsubscribing. I'm really looking forward to sort of sharing some new stuff with you over the next few days. I'll be back on the live stream in 2 weeks. I'm hoping to do more videos in the meantime, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, again, thank you. See you on Discord, see you on wherever, and really appreciate you coming, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. My mouth is dry.